Trypio has to be one of the most recognizable Beyblades that released in Bakuten Shoot. Not the most popular or competitive, but definitely the most recognizable. Before we get into Trypio, my favorite comment from my Black Dranzer video is from mint_boy. He says, the Arabic dub, they say that Black Dranzer was created by a scientist who wanted power and made the most powerful Beyblade ever. And they explain the normal Dranzer was actually a replica of Black Dranzer, which was my theory, but it's really cool that even another dub was able to give us more lore and give us another theory on Black Dranzer versus Dranzer Flame. Thank you for the comment, Mint. Let's get into Trypio. The original release for Trypio was from Takara Tomy in 2001. Over the lifespan of Plastic Gen, Hasbro did re-release Trypio and redesign it, and honestly, very significantly, pretty much not even the same Beyblade, but we'll get into that when we break this down. Trypio is from the first season of the original Beyblade anime, and its owner is Eddie. Well, we didn't get a last name, because apparently Eddie is just a filler character for the All-Stars Blade team. But at least for a filler character, we did get a proper official release, unlike his teammate Steven with Tryhorn. If you don't know anything about Tryhorn, I'll leave the video linked below the like button. Go check it out after this video. It's a cool Beyblade, and I'm kind of sad that it didn't get released. Once Trypio is introduced, Kenny does some analysis on the Beyblade and finds the two main features that allows Trypio to be so deadly in the arena. The stadiums in Bakuten Shoot are a giant factor in these battles, and some of them are a little skewed to one blade over the other, and this stadium is no exception. The stadium for this battle, we're told, has silicone over the stadium, which is supposed to make it virtually frictionless. And along with the stadium having silicone on it for zero friction, we're told that the blade base of Trypio actually is also covered in silicone. So, in theory, that's like a negative coefficient of friction or something, you know. Crazy. Obviously, we didn't get that in the real life release. This is just plastic, but it's really cool that we get a little more lore and information in the anime to show why at least the anime version is as powerful as it is. And this is just a unique real life product. Along with the silicone base, we're told that the attack ring actually creates a vacuum, sucking the Beyblade down to the stadium to get that G-force. Similar to like an F1 car, you know, it just sucks down to the stadium, gets that downforce, and it's kind of weird that they use that and zero friction. They seem like they kind of cancel each other out, but I'm not a scientist. It's just something that came to my mind. Takara Tomy's on the left, Hasbro is on the right. Starting with the sharp blade base. Nothing really different here. Obviously, they're going to be different molds, but that is pretty much the biggest discrepancy. Takara Tomy obviously has 2001 Takara Tomy and made in China, while Hasbro also has 2001 Takara Tomy, but also 2003 Hasbro. So this is the 2003 made in Hasbro and an original 2001 release for Takara Tomy. Moving on to the spin gear, they are pretty identical. There's no gimmicks made into the blade, so the spin gear is just a right spin gear. Nothing special here. The colors are a little different, but no discrepancies on the spin gear. And for the weight disc, 8 balance comes stock on there. The one I got here just had, I don't know, was this 10 wide or 10 balance or whatever. Stock combo is 8 balance, just like this. So in theory, they have the identical weight discs. I just couldn't find one, and this one came with that. So, and moving on to the flying defense attack ring. Right off the bat, I'm sure you can tell there's a pretty big difference here. The size is identical, so the size is not compromised, but as you can see here, there is a pretty big difference in design here. Takara Tomy has this nice angled gimmick, just like propellers. Get that downforce. Looks very nice, anime accurate. Nice flat ring out here with these protrusions for recoil or attack. Moving on to Hasbro. No protrusions out here, just a straight flat circle, and then flat blades. So technically it's not even really doing the gimmick. It still works, obviously, but there is just not as much downforce onto these blades as Takara Tomi's anime accurate one. I'm sure they did this just to make production easier, but they kind of dropped the bag on this one and made this a not so accurate anime reproduction. Neither of these are competition legal, and neither of them are outrageous performers, so whichever one you go with, you can't really use in competitive use or really use practically. So these are just little discrepancies. Takara Tomy, Hasbro. Trypio's debut is in the American Championship Tournament in Las Vegas. The Blade Breakers are matched up against the All-Stars. Tyson takes on Steven. Max takes on the leader Michael. And then we have Ray taking on Eddie with Trypio. This is a very short battle. Ray doesn't even put up a fight. He's like zoned out, and these battles just snap right by. Eddie stomps on Ray, uses his downward force to literally drill into his Bit Beast and just brings him to a halt, which is a very cool finisher. We don't see that very much in the anime. We do see a few battles that are like on top of one another, but for him to literally like suck the air out from under him and just kill his speed with his attack ring was pretty sick. We only see Eddie and Trypio a handful of times in this series, but his next battle is up against Tala of the Blitzkrieg Boys, and you already know, Tala just wiped the floor with him, sends him out of the stadium, and we're on to his second to last battle. He's going up against Black Dranzer with the rest of the team. If you didn't see my Black Dranzer video, link is also below the like button. That was a sick video, I had a lot of fun making it. But he turns into a sacrificial lamb with the rest of the All-Stars, and they all lose their Bit Beasts to Black Dranzer. That wraps up the first season of the Beyblade anime with Trypio, but jumping forward to the 4th episode of G-Revolution, he's found that Rick, their new All-Stars teammate, is doing underground Beyblading, and Eddie and Michael don't like him. So they go down there, and Eddie challenges him to a battle, and if Eddie wins, Rick is off the team. But it is street rules, Eddie gets slammed, and actually broken through the concrete barrier that the stadium is made out of. They both technically stop spinning at the same time. Rick says that he won because, you know, he broke him out of the stadium and those are the street rules, but in theory, they did tie. The final time that Trypio is in the stadium is when the 8-man battle royale happens. It's unclear exactly how he got knocked out or eliminated, but it is shown that Mariah wins. So that is one more L that Eddie gets to hold. Eddie and Trypio's final record for the entire series of Beyblade is 1 win against Ray, 1 loss against Tala, 1 loss against Kai, 1 loss against Mariah or the Battle Royale, and 1 draw against Rick. It's crazy, out of 150 episodes, man only got 5 battles. He did come out with a significant losing record, so he is dubbed filler character. If you made it this far, hit that subscribe button, or at least click this playlist and maybe another video will make you consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning about Trypio. Let me know in the comments, what Beyblades do you want me to learn about next? I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Peace.